Man, took a L. Why do I feel so not blue though? So, what's your thoughts, bro?
Well, coming into the game, Philly was the favorites, best in the league. You look at the stats, we matched up pretty evenly across the board. But a couple of plays here and there, man, it didn't go our way, and Philly walks out dodging a bullet.
And we got OC in the building. OC, real quick, 20 seconds, man. Just what's your thoughts, just briefly?
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, man, it was a lot of ebbs and flows. It was a very good divisional game. And at the end of the day, the Cowboys didn't make the plays that they needed to make at the end, man. And we'll talk a lot more in depth about it as we get into it.
And then you got another 20 seconds, Coach Maul, 30 seconds before we kick off the show officially.
So, hey man, this is as for a fan and as a coach's mentality, man, this is a tough loss for me, man, because your team played well in spots. We had some plays where we had some hiccups, but we played well. We played clean. We didn't have no turnovers, and for the game of inches, and those inches got us in some crucial calls in that game that got us.
All right, so we go kick off the show. In the meantime, we got to get the vibe right. Let's go.
Why do I feel so blue? Why do I feel so blue? Why do I feel so down? Why do I feel so blue? Why do I feel so blue? Why do I feel so blue? Why do I feel so down? Why do I feel so blue? Why do I feel so blue? I need a meal like you. I need some friends and some jewelry. I'm trying to get like you. Sign me a deal like you. Foreign my whip like you. Give me a. I'm trying to be lit like you. Flex on the ground like you. Show all my bands like you. I talk to my friends, I talk to my family, they don't understand like you. Follow the plan like you. I need some fans like you. Make them all stand like you, but I don't understand why I'm not like you. They say comparison is a thief of joy, but what I'm supposed to do, I'm unemployed. Been dropping songs, ain't been making noise. Trying to get like you and hope it fill a void. Look, don't nobody wanna be like me. No shawty, no team like me. Insecure, unemployed, no tour, no story, no breed, no peace like me. Close to living on the streets like me. Run away from your dream like me. Mama, dad, miss, I got you living with your granny. Ain't nobody unkeep like me. I mean unkept like me. Credit low ball and dead like me. Don't nobody call and check on me. I see y'all ball, y'all flex on me, but cats on all y'all necks on me. Why is all this stress on me? Why I see the less of me? Comparison, no recipe. They say comparison is a thing.
Alright, man. We got OC in the building. OC, how you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm feeling real good, man. You know, glad to get past a little bit of technical difficulties to get on the show, man. Look, the Cowboys lose, man. A very, very tough game. That's a very winnable game. And at the end of the day, man, it is a play here, a play there, as Coach Marv said, and it's the little things. The little things like dropping passes in the first half, the little things like not stopping them on fourth down conversions, the little things which actually turn into a huge thing, like getting beat repeatedly at the right tackle position. You know, things like that. And those were the differences in the game. But the Cowboys are a very, very good team. The Eagles are right now slightly better based upon execution and not losing the game themselves, man. And so that's where we are, man. The Cowboys, hey, almost get out of here with something special, but came up a little bit short today.
So let me go ahead and start with what's going to already be heavy, bro. We gonna start off and get the expertise of the OC. We gonna get our money's worth. What's up with Steele?
Well, man, I said this ad nauseum going into training camp. I said this ad nauseum in the off season, and everybody told me, yeah, Steele is great. Steele is healthy. Steele will be back. Steele ACL is fine. He's recovering ahead of schedule. Being physically cleared to play, is different than being physically ready to play. And Steele is still working his way into physically being ready to play. I still think he's a very talented guy, but strength-wise, he cannot stand up to speed bull rushes. And that's why at the end of the game, he was getting beat like a drum with an old Graham, okay, an old Brandon Graham, previous Michigan defensive end. That guy's been in the league since I've been out of college, man. He's been in the league forever. But he's beating that dude, man, with just a stiff bull rush. And you know what? You look at Steele's left knee. He can't sit down. He can't absorb that pressure without giving up and bending and turning. He can't, because his leg is not all the way ready yet. And at the end of the day, people have taken advantage of that. What happened with Reddick? Reddick has very, very sudden change of direction. So Reddick was setting him up outside, coming inside, where? To his power leg, to that left leg that is surgically repaired, that's not ready to stop and have the quickness on the inside to shut down the inside move. Furthermore, my man, unfortunately, his sets were too shallow, and I'll define shallow. That means he wasn't getting enough depth on his sets, okay? He's sitting almost a semi-jump set on a guy with a lot of speed. And so when that happens and you're hanging your hand out there, like a nice turkey leg at the state fair, well, Reddick is taking that hand, he's beating that hand, and he's getting to your shoulder, and you're opening up your hips, and he's going straight toward the quarterback. And that happened, unfortunately, a couple of times with Terrence Steele. So Terrence Steele, he needs to get more depth. He needs to have hand movement, okay? You can't just leave your outside hand hanging out there and get your hand trapped. If you get your hand trapped, you're opening up or you're coming forward. That's what's going on with him, technically speaking. But furthermore, in a practical sense, the Cowboys got to make an adjustment, man. You can go two tights. You can go split back. You can bring up a back out the backfield and chip for him and help him, so that these guys are not getting off clean, because right now he's struggling.
I mean, I hate y'all. No, I just hate y'all, bro. I swear, I hate Cowboy fans, bro. Sometimes I swear.
The hell?
Yeah, I can't, bro. I can't, bro.
I can't either, man. Like, your quarterback balled. He outperformed Jalen freaking Hurts in his house. You had receivers and tight ends dropping balls.
That was Dak house today. You right.
You had the aficionados mucking up the game, and then they tried to even it out toward the end, but the damage had already been done. Your quarterback played a mistake-free
What's the
game.
numbers on Dak, bro? Talk to me.
29 of 44 for 374.
Oh my
3
God.
touchdowns and a passer rating of 115.2. And he damn near converted an extra point.
And then
Had
you
it not
get
been for them
and
big
then you
ass
get this comment right
Jordans.
here. And then you get, all right, let me keep going. Coach.
The people that's in the comment are saying that some of them I question that they're Cowboy fans, because they're just only waiting to see Dak Prescott. They don't care about the rest of the Cowboys, because they really probably don't say anything about the Cowboys. There was times that your right tackle made great blocks, but in some crucial times he made some very costly errors. And yes, I think that inside set of letting guys get inside, because he don't have the strength off that inside left leg to actually shut that down and drive a man into the line of scrimmage and not let it beat him all the way to the quarterback. But on the other hand, I want to give kudos to our center and our 2 guards teaching these young defensive tackles that everybody was talking about a lesson in how to stonewall them in a line of scrimmage. Now, they may have gotten beat, but for the most part, Dak had time to step up, which helped our tackles a little bit. but it was the times that he got beat. But hey, when you pass the ball, you do that. There's gonna be some battles you're gonna lose with a good defensive line, and then he lost some battles, but they was in crucial times. But it did hinder our offense from moving, and the reason why it didn't hinder our offense from moving because Dak Prescott made plays. He improvised. He played distinctively. He moved around. He threw the ball off the run. He threw it from in the pocket. And it was Amp said about his stats. I think you said he was how many for what his completion percentage was? What it was, Amp?
29 of 44.
29 of 44, and he had at least 6 drops in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So if he don't have those drops, his completion percentage would be even better in this game. And he had you there, but we learned a lesson from our line that you got to be able to do those things. And OC is correct. If you know you got a guy that got a hindrance, you just want to slow the guy down around the end, slow him down, and have Steele just really say, hey man, I'm just getting inside and I'm gonna have a guy that bump the guy and they'll help me when the guy going around the bend. But I can never let a guy go inside when I got a monster today like Zach Martin doing his thing, because he's not letting the middle pressure. I can't give it up.
OC,
Yeah.
I'm not worried about this loss.
No, I'm not worried about this loss, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because in Dak I trust, bro. In Dak I trust. And I've been telling y'all that Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the NFC. And today he went out here and proved it. And I told y'all the early start where he wasn't as efficient or effective was really an element of the trust factor and Mike McCarthy having the governor and having a collar around Dak Prescott and making him a game manager. I said, let that man loose. And you know what? They listened to the OC because you've seen the evidence of it the last couple of weeks, Boss Cowboy. You've seen when he gets loose, he's using his natural ability. He's great outside of the pocket. They say, okay, let's throw the ball down the field. Let's attack. And then furthermore, let's throw the ball to freaking CD Lamb because nobody in the league can cover this dude. Nobody can cover this dude. So you know what? Let's do what we got to do. And as long as Mike McCarthy keeps that governor off of Dak Prescott, we are going to be in a bunch of football games. We are going to win a lot of football games, and that's going to give us a shot to win. I said this before. I'll say it again today. Mike McCarthy will be the reason we lose. Dak Prescott will be the reason we win. And Dak, I trust, bro. And I'm telling you, Dak is going to take us a long way.
Man, say, listen, bro.
Got a super chat that came in, boss.
I got a super chat. Appreciate that. He said, still looking like rookie free agent still.
He looked worse. He looked worse, actually.
Well, let me say this too.
And listen,
let me say this too. Everybody to kind of calm down a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because this man is playing off a hurt ACL, y'all. And to the OC credit, the OC again was warning that it was going to happen. He was telling us, bro, he not the same. He was saying that while he was getting paid, he was telling everybody, be patient. I remember the OC said, he was saying, be patient. Still, it's going to take him a little while to get over that knee. Some things you can't rush. Some things you can't rush. We rush Michael Gallup, it hurt us. We rushing Steele, and guess what? It's hurting us. Just keeping it real. But I want to kind of flip. We go also talk about how to help Steele, or is it time to panic? Because I think we panicking, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we're panicking, boss.
I'm gonna tell you why I think we panicking. That's Philly.
Yeah, I get it, but we're not panicking because it's happened in other games, boss. We're not panicking. We have a body of work, and we've seen Steele get beat repeatedly in the same type of way with power rushes. We saw him get beat with a power rush by a rookie. I forget the guy's name. He has a Samoan last name with the Chargers. He got beat the same way, and so people are watching tape on Steele. And this is a copycat league. If you can set up a speed to power bull rush on this guy, and he's playing on half a body, then you're going to get this guy problems. And even if you don't get a sack, you're going to create pressure. You're going to make Dak get happy feet.
So how we fix it, bro? How we fix it?
So this is how we fix it. And thank you, because I was going there. We fix it with a tight end next to him, 21 personnel, a chip back. And you know what we really need to do? we really need to have a little bit more commitment to running the football. Because quiet as it's kept, we had really no run game today. Quiet as it's kept, TP has not been as effective as he was in years past. And I'm seeing wear and tear on TP. I'm seeing a half a step loss. We need to mix in these other backs. Since we didn't bring anybody else in the trade deadline, we need to mix in other backs. And look, Brian Schottenheimer, the run guru, you need to be more dedicated to helping us figure out how we can actually line up and run for several first downs a game. That's how you help Terrence Steele, how you help a struggling guy that is coming back with a bad leg in pass pro. You help him by running the football. That's how you help him.
Can I say something about that, ball?
Yeah.
I think if we look at the second half as they start, and I think Michael Parsons did the same thing starting the second half that he did against the Rams. If we look at the second half, TP was getting, we had that possession, he was getting those yards. And then we brought Rico Dowell, he got those. And then the crazy, and I know you've seen it, OC, the holding call that it was picture perfect blocking, hand position, picture perfect, nothing wrong, nowhere close to being a holding call. Inside the chest, inside the framework, not outside, and all of a sudden is a holding call where a guy didn't have a chance to make. And then with them holding the ball against us, when we got the ball again, yes, we couldn't be patient with the run because they held the ball for so long, but I think they started off the second half, the run game started to pop.
Yeah.
And it got taken away from us because we had a good drive that was taking time off the clock, but that holding call on Schoonmaker was horrible.
So hold on. I gotta flip the script real quick because the super chats are coming in hot and heavy. We got some $20 ones, some $10 ones. So we gotta flip the script to these super chats. Let's go. All right, real quick, we got a $20 super chat that came in from Philip. He said, fellas, we should have won this game. We dropped too many passes. The offensive line let us down. We could have used a hammer at running back. We can't blame this game on Dak. I like Toba, but I want to add T.Y. Hilton and drop Gallup. I appreciate the super chat, and that's a real one. Then LaMarcus said, Dak played a hell of a game. In these types of games, we got to have a running game to go with the greatness of Dak, and the refs got to stay out the way. We gonna talk about the refs because, man, I don't quite know what to do about that. For real. I don't know what to do about that. And then Michael Evans, I feel this super chat. He said, I ain't tripping on the loss, boss. Philly was very fortunate to skate with this win, and my QB cooked that so-called big-time defense, and I agree.
Yeah, man.
And then one more. I'm sorry. We got two more. These for you too, OC. He said, are we rushing Pollard? And then Prasham Talk said, Mike need to find a go-to play in the red zone. And then one more. This loss is going to leave a bad taste in the mouth to the rest of the year. All right, go OC.
Yeah, so listen, I don't think that we're rushing TP. I mean, as far as I understand, he was healthy and he made a good recovery. I just think that when you're coming back from a leg injury and your body got beat up last year by really being the feature back and you wasn't a feature back, that wear and that tear affects you. And it takes a little bit, it puts a hitch in your giddy up. And that's what's happening with TP right now. He's not used to the pounding that Ezekiel Elliott took for years, okay? He's not that type of running back. And when you try to make him that type of running back, he's a complementary piece. Then you see he's not quite as effective. Even though he's not getting quote unquote overwhelming carries, he's the number one guy. He's getting tagged. He got tagged last year. Furthermore, in the red zone, I think that, yeah, we're still trying to find our way in the red zone. I do like the implementation of the tight ends in the red zone, I think that can be effective. But we got to figure out, and going back to what Coach Marv said, yes, we started off in the second half doing well with the run game, but we got to come out and be able to establish running the ball early. And I think that's the key to keeping that clean, and that's the key to helping your aging offensive line. Now, also, I want to say this. Shout out to Tyron Smith, who turned back to Father Time.
Yes.
And he was playing like vintage 2015, 2016, all pro, all 2020 team, 2010 team, Tyron Smith. He played a really good game. He played a heck of a game.
Man, shout out to the OC, man. OC don't miss nothing with the offensive line. He don't miss. I was saving that, and the OC beat me to it. Did you have something on that, Coach? Seemed like you was ready.
You know why he played? You know why he played that way? Because he found out the guy might not be as better than him, right? But he can win without you. So now that makes you say, hey, okay, I need to tighten my game up, and I need to come out. And he played a very physical game. But I know we talking about the offense, and I know we're gonna come up with all this. But the defense, if I had one unit that didn't play to their par, even when I run the ball, this and that, but our defense cannot come out a game when you up for 7 points and come out the first drive and let a team go down the field like that and change the whole momentum. That was a crucial drive. You got to stop that possession. And they let Philly come down and drive 75 yards. No, I'm sorry. Drive 75 yards, all in the end zone, drive straight down the field, and take back the momentum of the game. I said at halftime when Boss, you might have been gone, but me and Ant was on here, and I preached at halftime when we were talking. I said that first drive is the most important drive of setting the tone for the second half. And our defense didn't get a turnover, and they didn't stop things on crucial possession. And
so
they misfired. I ain't say they played totally bad.
They misfired.
There are times in the game where you got to make a stand defensively, and that first possession in the second half was that time.
So, Boss, OC, Amp, it's time to talk about Dan Quinn. Because there are things that's happening to this team that's a reflection of him. It was at least 4 times in that game Coach Marv say, they offsides. 4 times! And then they would throw the flag every time he said it. Not sometime, every time. How is that not a reflection of Dan Quinn, OC, and Amp? We're going to start with you, OC, then Amp.
Well, I'm going to say this. I think that, discipline and the repetition of discipline can be lost when you're a scheme machine. And I think that really Dan Quinn is a master at coming up with different packages and schemes and trying to figure out scenarios to beat you that you can lose a little bit of English on the fundamentals. And this is just practice reps. This is just making sure that you don't jump on 2 or you don't line up in the neutral zone. So it's the little details that's going to make your defense great and not losing leverage and angles and giving up big plays. I think overall DC is doing a good job. I really do. But the little things, to be a great defense, to be a Super Bowl championship team, you have to be great at the little things. And that's what we're talking about right now.
Yep. So, your team gave it a great effort. But in this game, it's a matter of crossing your T's and dotting your I's. And not crossing your T's and dotting your I's is what ultimately cost the game. There were some egregious calls. We, no need to get into depth of that. We all saw the game.
Yeah.
But I don't feel terrible about this game because it was something. Every game this year has been different. It's been led different. It's evolved differently. This game was led by your offense. You asked this question early in the season.
Yep.
Can your offense compete in a game like this? We were wondering if we could put points on the board.
Yeah.
They showed us today. 4 showed us today that we can stand toe-to-toe, and we did that against arguably one of the best defenses in the league. So I'm not hanging my damn head today.
Oh no.
Based off of what I saw, I would have liked to see DQ, tighten up a little bit more, and make a little bit more in-game adjustments here and there. And two, right now I'm speaking to Jerry and Steven. Y'all got to get off of it. Cut out the malarkey, cut out the politics, cut out the manipulation, and let your best players on the field. You got a guy who's not performing, at least let us see what the next man looks like. Now, we did see that today because after Gallup kind of
Tolbert, yeah.
We saw more Tolbert.
Yep.
So I'm going to applaud them there. But in other spaces on your defense,
where Evans?
Where is he? You acquired him for what? You elevated him for what? To ride the pine?
Special teams?
Nah.
I want to talk about something that we hadn't touched on yet. I want to talk about how effective Micah Parsons has been or has not been versus the Eagles. Because I think that, like going back to last year, Micah, is always Micah, but he wasn't nearly as disruptive versus this offensive line because they have Lane Johnson and they have a power left tackle that is really technically sound. He gets 2 good kicks in the ground. He's strong up top at the point of attack. And I don't think Micah has the power to overcome that and really force him to turn the corner or really give the inside leverage that he needs to get to the quarterback. And so what I saw in this game was some maturity and some growth out of Sam Williams. I saw Sam Williams turn the corner with the strip play, all right, early on in that game. And I saw him get pressured in the other instance because he actually has the strength. He has the speed, but he also has the weight and the power to get through power tackles. I want to get you guys' thoughts about that. This was an interesting observation on my part.
No, I think. Yeah, and just real quick, I'm gonna be quick, Coach. I think the defensive ends was the issue to this game with containment. I saw some containment issues with them, with what you were saying with Micah, and I really feel like Micah is sometimes too friendly. Micah needs another level of a killer instinct to me, because when they had that late fumble at the end from Swift, the ball was right there. Micah dived, but he didn't want to dive on his leg, So he dove and tried to reach for the ball to get it from the side, and that's when they was able to recover it.
Damn, man.
Damn his leg. This is the game. You know what I'm saying? When that ball is on the ground, bodies are flying. You got to be one of the bodies. You know what I mean? And he shows sympathy. He shows sympathy. I'm going to show it on the film. He should have just whistled to the ball, but he did not. So I think that's a microcosm of Micah Parsons. You know what I mean? The way you see all the athletic ability, OC, like you're saying, but not enough hate. That's how I would sum it up.
Yeah, and I think, and I seen what you same thing you've seen, OC, with Sam Williams, but the thing I've always said about Sam Williams, and that's been his play this year, is you may get that splash play on a pass play, but then you're gonna get 2 or 3 runs where he don't set the edge, and then you gonna get it's gonna get blown. But I've seen him play a little bit better, but I think some of the same sound things that we have been talking. Well, since I've been talking about since preseason, but I have people tell me during preseason, the preseason when you get the regular guys out there, it's gonna change. One thing I found out, if you allow the preseason guys, the backup guys, lose contain here and there, or bad technique on this and that, it don't change because you are setting a precedence in your team. So when you get the first string guys in there and they lose contain, is because you did not. The standard is the standard from 4th string to 1st string. And if you don't lock it down with the 4th string guys, your 1st string guys gonna give you that too. But again, I don't want to jump to say none of our defensive players are paying bad. I understand that but we did not make the plays, and there were crucial times in this game when we got to get the guys off the field. I'm credit Philadelphia in one thing. Their quarterback got hurt right before half. They went out to a system in the second half where they say, we're going to run the ball regardless if we get any yards or not, and we're going to try to get the ball out quick. And I think they threw one deep pass the whole second half because they knew that they didn't want us to start hunting. But like I said, we got to start. We got to make the plays. And I seen Micah Parsons on the sideline too much because I'm going to say this. We wanted him to play a chess piece. And I know people going to say, don't talk about Micah Parsons. But to play a chess piece, you can't be in defensive end shape. You got to be in another type of shape. See, you get yourself prepared during the season to be in defensive end shape. That's not playing 80 plays and being all over the field. You got to get in the shape of a guy that's the best guy in shape on the field because you're going to be all over from linebacker to defensive end, trailing the ball, going this place and that. And I don't have time for you to be tired on crucial things because I need you out there 100% of the time, and I need you to be in tip top. Just saying.
The OC.
Yeah.
Was Mike McCarthy too aggressive?
I think that he wanted to show that he was just as strong as a young man. See, Nick Sirianni plays 4-down football on the plus side of the 50. And so he was trying to show it was an ego thing. And I think that, was he too aggressive? I think in some spots, yeah, he was. But I do like him to be more aggressive. I'd rather him a little bit too aggressive, boss, than being too passive in big games. That's what I'm going to say about that. And I know where you're going with that, but I'd rather see him just a smidge too aggressive than under aggressive in big moments. But I think it was a little bit of ego there. Definitely coaching against a guy like Nick Sirianni.
Yeah. Because you know what I would say if we could play this game all over again? Being too aggressive was almost, in my opinion, sideways afraid.
Okay, it's interesting. What do you mean by that?
So, take the 3 points.
True, understood. Yeah,
especially when you had a long drive like that. It's like reward that offense.
3. Yeah, take 3. Yeah, understood. And that's what
the last 6 minutes we could have won the game 2 times with just that 3 points.
Right. True. Undeniable. True.
So I will say.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead, Coach.
Oh yeah, I just think with that, Boss made that point, and I thought about it. I said, what would I would have done? Well, I would have to think about how the flow of the game was going, and how well both sides of my ball been working. And the offense had been efficient when they really weren't stopping us in anything that we really did. So yes, your quarterback was in a rhythm. Took that chance, and at that particular point in time, if you look at it, which team was doing better? The defense was not doing as well because they've been giving up long drives. So yes, he could have took the 3 points there, and you still had to have that defensive stand down there. But it's a game of inches. He came up 2 inches short on a good play that they called where a guy made a great play, and it came up short. So. And you have a pin back down there. You said if we are going to pin on the defense, I'm going to have an inside the 5-yard line, and hopefully we can make a turnover. So if being up now, if that was at the 30-yard line or the 40, and he went with it like that, I would say that'd been too aggressive because now you put your defense in a bad situation, and a couple first downs, they'll have a field goal on you. But he was inside that 5. He decided to go. And he said, if I do turn it over, we're going to get it right back. Or maybe we might make them turn it over. We get a defensive touchdown. So I understood why he went with it down there.
We got 2 super chats real quick. OC, one of them said, "I think Parsons is that I want to be friends with everybody. No friends on the football field." And
it's a little bit of truth to that, man. I think
said, "I always take the points too. I want you to take both of those, and then I'm gonna get Amp thoughts on that."
Yeah. I mean, Micah is being a little is going toward. It appears. I'm gonna say this because I don't have a body of work to say that this is absolutely true. It appears that he's going into the corporate marketing Cowboys way, just a little bit. Just a little bit. And so
you gotta explain that, bro.
Yeah, the corporate Cowboys way is that I'm gonna do what's good for business. So I'm gonna be cool with you, and I'm gonna make sure I can get you on this podcast. I'm a network to get business deals done. I'm gonna secure my future outside of playing a game of football. That's the marketing corporate Cowboys way. You understand this, and you understand why we don't make big trades and spend big money to get big acquisitions, because it's the corporate Cowboys way, because we want to be good enough to be competitive. We want to be good enough to win 10 to 11 games. If we win 10 to 12, make the playoffs, wild card team, that's enough. That's enough drug to keep you coming back. That's enough drug. That's enough potion to keep you hooked on this. You see, as long as we're not tanking, right? As long as we're not going like 3-15, right? As long as we don't do that, we'll be in good shape. So that's what I mean about corporate Cowboy. And it's a little bit of element of that. And what we need Micah Parsons to do is to be the dog of dogs and to be the lion, not the fake lion. We don't need him to be Simba. I want you to be Mufasa. Okay? I want you to be the big old school dog. All right? And so, I don't know about that OC. He's just a nice guy. Micah Parsons is not no nice guy. Are you kidding me? Micah Parsons is a smart guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that. Micah Parsons is a smart dude. He ain't no nice friend. I mean, I'm not saying that he is a bad person. Don't take this the wrong way, because people, take this and start tweeting and doing weird stuff. I'm saying Micah Parsons is not trying to be your best friend just because. This is business. And if you don't understand that, and then a lot of people don't understand about business, but it's okay. But trust me, just trust the OC on this one. This is a little bit of business in this, okay? Just trust me, bro.
The OC.
There's no emotions, no friends, no loyalty.
Straight business.
Straight business.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
If it ever was a time for that drop.
Hey.
Yeah. So that's what I mean by that, boss. And boss, you mentioned other super chat. I'm sorry, I lost in translation going off about Michael. What was the other super chat?
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up real quick.
I just want to make
Take the points.
He said to always take the points.
Oh, always take the points. Yeah, I mean, always take the points when you're getting calls against you and you're in a hostile environment and you don't know how the game go and you think you got a chance to score. Sometimes you're going to risk it. Sometimes you're going to put your chips in when you're inside of the 10. And so I respect both ways. Like regular game management says, okay, take the points. We're going to get a possession back. But as to Coach Marv's great point, man, you got to have a sense for that game. And sometimes you got to coach with your gut and you got to coach with your testicular fortitude. I'll put it that way. Go ahead.
So check this out. My boy Jamal Kyle say, league won't allow you to be a dog no more. This ain't older football. Y'all missing it. Amp, didn't you send me where Cooper Kupp was telling Micah Parsons, I'm not exchanging my jersey with you right now?
So we're going to backtrack, actually. We're going to backtrack to, I believe it was week 4. Cowboys-Patriots in Big D. And there was a snippet. I know Laws got it in a short video on his channel. But post-game, you see, Dak and Zeke interact with each other. And you don't hear the audio, but I could read the lips. And you can see them talking about jersey, and you can see Zeke telling Dak, hey, I'm gonna send it in the mail. Right? Because guess what? The whole world knows the dynamic of those two. Best damn friends, former teammates, came in the league together and started going at it, right? In the trenches together, battle after battle. So nobody would have had a problem with those two exchanging jerseys because of past history. But those two are intelligent enough to know that in the light, the optics don't look good with us doing this right now. So you know what? We could still do what we're going to do, but we're not going to make this a story. Fast forward, Cooper Kupp told Parsons the same thing. Hey, we're not doing this here right now, dog. You know, and I applaud that because it's the optics. First off, he lost the game, so it's like, hey man, damn that. You're not gonna have me out here looking like no sucker, bro. Hey, if you want it, I send it to you. And Parsons was like, I know where you live, I know how to find you, you know, etc. Yeah, keep that say. Hey, if you find somebody, you know, and they're worth swapping, man, there's too many ways to do what you need to do without doing it in the light, man. You bring an extra unwanted attention to. But
and you know,
I'm gonna be positive right now. We've been kind of banging a little bit, right? As far as the things that we wanted to see. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Despite your defense not really being able to get turnovers this game, and we looked a little bit porous and we gave up too much, we locked AJ Brown.
Yeah. How many
we locked down DeAndre Swift? 66. Yeah, I was ready.
Mm-hmm.
66.
See, I was ready.
So we went ahead and killed that little streak. Oh, he's the best receiver in the league right now. Oh man, he just gonna tear up that secondary. Man, I don't know how he gonna do with Gilly, man. Gilly a little old and long in the tooth. You know, is he gonna be able to stick with him? You know, I mean, Bland is good and all, but you know, he's kind of young. And you know, I just don't know if cerebrally he'll be able to rise above AJ during this game. And guess what? He ain't get off. The only bright spot he had in this game was that old cheap ass touchdown late in the game. Come on, man. Then we held DeAndre Swift to under 100. Dallas Goedert, we took him out the game.
Out, literally.
So even though your defense wasn't your defense today, damn it, they still kept you in it.
Yeah, that's great. You're right about that. Hey, and I'll say something about it. Piggyback on that. Defense did make some plays and kept their playmakers out the game and did those type things. But I want to go back to what y'all were talking about, Micah Parsons being corporate. Just because Micah Parsons is the best player on this team doesn't mean he's the mentality setter on this team. I've had teams where the best player on the team by far wasn't the guy that set the ego of the team. Who's in that locker room to say, hell no, don't pick him up, and tell Michael Parsons that, and he respect them because he knows that guy is the mentality guy of the team. Who is that guy to set the tone of nasty? Now, you don't have to be the guy that's the best guy on the team that set that mentality, but you got to be the first person and have that mentality from the day one to the last day. And we need somebody on that defense that sets that mentality. That don't mean they got to be the best player on the team, but that type of mentality has to be set by somebody or a couple of people on that team to say, nah, we ain't picking nobody up on the ground. Forget all that nice stuff.
Yep.
Let's knock heads.
Just knock heads, man. You gotta be willing to dive on somebody's leg for the ball.
Yeah, and you got somebody that gotta be, and listen, we waiting on to hear it publicly. But I don't care about hearing it public. You need to be that guy, it need to be that dog in the locker room that everybody know they got that person in the locker room. He may not have been the best player on the team, but everybody don't know not to mess with that guy. Because that's a straight up fight. And if they said something to somebody, everybody listened and they respected that, and they most likely they did what they told them to do. Who is that guy? And I ain't got to hear it. Y'all ain't got to hear it. But in that locker room, you got to have that guy.
And said my boy say Dak was cooking tonight. Gotta finish that last drive though. Shake my.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think this, man. I mean, Dak Prescott was under duress. Okay, Dak Prescott was under a massive duress. Now, a point of critique about Dak is that Dak needs to know when to throw the ball away. And Dak, sometimes he passes that ball and he holds it a little bit too long.
That's fair.
That's the thing about Dak Prescott.
That's actually fair criticism tonight. Thank you, OC.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, but other than that, man, Dak was in his bag, man. Dak is that dude, man. And Dak I trust, man. You know, at the end of the day, if nobody else is making plays and you got to make plays, sometimes you're going to try to hold that ball to extend the play. But I just want Dak to be slightly more intelligent with the escapes. If he's been getting pressure all game, right, from that right side. So be intelligent and understand that I'm going to have to slide to this left, or I may have to slide and pivot back around to give myself a little bit more time to stay alive. Be a little bit smarter there and don't just try to shift around in the pocket because you already been getting massive pressure from that right tackle all game. So those little points, those are just the little things I would say that Dak can do better.
And then I'm going to say this. It's a fine line with that too, OC.
Yeah.
Because the same critique of Dak need to know when to throw it away, we was all cheering when he improvised and made them plays on 3rd and 15 too.
It's a fine line. And sometimes if they're not shaking open, and it's nowhere for you to go, you got to throw the ball away.
Yeah.
When Dak made those plays, he had a little bit of alleys to make those plays.
A little bit of alleys, bro.
Listen, to your point, boss. You know how they say it's a thin line between love and hate? Well, it's a thin line between making a big play and holding the ball too long. It's like that, man. So, to your point.
So in other words,
take the good with the bad, bro.
Exactly. Take the good with the bad, bro. Like,
take the good with the bad. He trying to make plays, take the good with the bad, bro.
That's what every player. Yeah, you're right. Take the good with the bad. You're going to have some bad plays.
Check this out. Hold on, Coach Maul. Just real quick. And my boy Curtis gave a super chat for this.
Thanks, Curtis.
That's why I kept saying boss.
Bro, 370 people, 170 likes. That is burning us. That's burning us alive. You know.
Look, the officials already did enough this game. Don't burn us up no more.
No, that's just too much, bro. Just
hit it.
Go ahead, that Tom.
Yeah,
it's not gonna hurt you. It's free.
100 with close to 400 people. Come on, man. Go ahead, OC. You still cooking?
No, man. Only thing I was gonna say is that, you know, when you're in these situations, you remember a person. I'm not comparing Dak to this person, but a person that everybody would know. A person that would hold on to the ball forever was Brett Favre back in the day. Yeah. He would hold on to the ball forever, trying to slide around, scramble drill, trying to help somebody hoping somebody got open. And sometimes, man, look, he threw a lot of touchdowns like that. He made a lot of huge plays. But sometimes, man, he took sacks. Sometimes he even got strip sacked. But you know what? You didn't complain because he made so many plays. And with a player like Dak Prescott, he's going to make a lot more good plays holding the ball than he is bad plays. So you live with the ones you don't like, understanding that the percentages are going to be in your favor. At least 80% of the time, he's going to make a good play with that ball if he holds on to it a little bit longer than what you want him to.
Yeah. So I can live with it, basically. You had something else? You breathing?
Man, I just saw that last comment and about Rico.
Yeah, I like that.
And in this game, the type of physicality that they were bringing, I would have liked to see. First off, I'd have liked to see more rushes, period. Because Pollard only had 12 carries. And then the next biggest rusher was actually Dak Prescott. And we know all of those weren't scripted. Rico got 2 carries. I'm sorry, I have a problem with that. Because guess what? We were actually pretty effective when we ran the ball. Pollard was averaging over 4 a carry. Rico averaged over 4 a carry. The only person who didn't average over 4 a carry was Dak. So your running backs were actually getting success, you know, and I think you do that, maybe that negates some of those sacks that we gave up, you know?
Yep. Yeah. That's what I think too.
I got something to say on that. I got something to say on that. And the floor of the game, and y'all gonna say, dog, Coach Marv, you saying this? Yeah, but the floor of the game caused those less carries. because if you look at the game, well, like I said, they came down and had a long drive second half that took up a lot of time possession. We run the ball 3 or 4 times on our drive. We get real good yards. Rico gets a one of his carries they took away. I think that would have been a 25-yard carry. We get inside the 10-yard line. Next thing you know, they call that holding call. Next thing you know, every time Philadelphia has the ball, and Philadelphia offense says, Philadelphia is like this. If they go 3 and out, they're going to have the ball 3 minutes. Because they're going to take the clock all the way down to 0 just about every snap. So with us not winning the time of possession and that drive getting killed, that pass attempts skyrocketed up to 40-something based off those last 2 possessions we had because we had to throw the ball in and we had a lot of plays and that's a lot of passes. But if you looked at his thing when he got to the end of the third quarter, he was real good, but we didn't have that many plays because they had the ball. That's why if we want to be balanced, time possession is very important to be balanced. It's very hard to be balanced when you're trying to be aggressive and you don't have the ball enough. It's going to look bad. It's going to look like you only ran the ball a couple times. But them holding the ball against us, that took away our running game. And they would have took their running game away if we had did the exact opposite. If we had the ball, they wouldn't have been able to run the ball as much. If we would have kept that lead right at the beginning of the third quarter, and lead on them, that would have took their running game away. But since we was behind, and that holding call turned the whole tone of the game. I don't care what people say. Coach Marlin talk about physics, but that turned the whole tone of how we were going to attack offensively.
What was the end score?
28-23. 5 points.
So I keep hearing people say, if Dak wouldn't have stepped out of bounds, that was a 2-point conversion.
I mean, yeah, okay, if he stepped out of bounds, I don't know what people think. Oh, he was trying to make a play, and his foot was a little bit out of bounds. What do you do? I mean, what do people think?
Nah, it's just, to me, it's like I see so much reaching to blame Dak. It's like I'm seeing people say, man, he came up short the last drive, or what if he would. It's like it's always the quarterback fault. It's like, and then you got to do the math.
Don't even worry about that. I mean, this is coming from people who can't hop on one leg 10 times without falling over. I mean, like, don't worry about that. They
I'm
can't
just saying though, but
leg,
like,
bro. I mean,
these are super reaches to blame Dak. Like,
it is.
It's like super reaches, because like, so if Dak would have even scored on that, we still lose.
we still lose by 3.
We still lose by 3. So it's just what it is.
I guess they're saying maybe at the end, we would have had the option to kick the field goal and tie it and hope we win in overtime. That's the only way I could possibly see us having a chance. But I mean, that still does not guarantee us the victory. And besides, without everything that Ford put on tape today, we aren't in this game at all.
No.
I'm sorry. You put Cooper Rush out there, we don't have this kind of game.
No.
You put Trey Lance out there, we don't have this kind of game. I'm
Dak
sorry.
Was the
so
was
as much
the
as you
only
want to talk
reason we was
about them
competitive.
inches, you want to talk about those inches, but damn it, he almost gave you 400 yards.
Yeah.
What's greater? 400 yards or inches?
Yeah. Choose another game.
Come on,
nitpick. Man. This is not the game. Choose another game. We'll wait till another one. So
I'm encouraged by the offense, though. I'm encouraged.
I'm encouraged.
Getting really in a rhythm. I think our running game would be a lot more if we get in the. I see McCarthy's plan now. His plan is that start of that second half. If he's ahead going into halftime, he's going to do a lot more mixture of the run and pass, and he's going to get you now where he can run the ball a little bit more and be a lot more mixture. Because I really think like OC said, he's trusting Dak. But I don't know if it's about he trusting Dak. I think that they really done got the kinks out of this new offense, and it took some time, but now they're feeling comfortable about what they're doing. I am also encouraged about I'm not just looking for one third wide receiver. I'm looking for a collection of third wide receivers to do the job of a third wide receiver. We got a catch from Tolbert. We got a catch from
Shun,
Turpin. We
Schoon.
got some from Gallup. Collectively, if they can give me 7, 8 catches collectively as a third wide receiver, I am happy with that. Collectively. It don't have to be one person. It could be collective.
Well, and I'm gonna say something, Coach, to what you're saying. I'm gonna say something, Coach. I do think it was a trust thing because at the beginning of the season, he was talking about time of possession, complementary football, basically ball control. And then we got out of that when it wasn't effective, and he started to open up this offense. He was not throwing routes 6 through 9 up the field. He really was not. In the first 3-4 games of the season, man, he really wasn't doing it. It looked like Dak was a rookie, and he just had to manage the game and dink and dunk. So I do think, in my opinion, it was a trust issue, and I think that he didn't fully understand that, okay, Dak is really capable of doing this stuff, and he began to trust that a little bit more, I think, starting last week in the Chargers game, and then you see the type of results that you get. Right? And so when you look at Dak Prescott, going back to this point, this is vintage. This is vintage Dak Prescott. This is 2016, 2017 Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott don't care who get that football. Dak Prescott is throwing to the dudes that are open. That's why that ball is being spread around. It's not just all designed from McCarthy. It is Dak actually reading this defense, seeing the matchups, and that's why Tolbert got touches. That's why you see Turpin get his touches. That's why you see Shoemaker come in there and get a touch. Yeah, it was some design stuff for Shoemaker, so I'll pause on that point. But Dak is moving his ball around, and he wants to go to the guy that's open in the best possible scenario on every single play. And that is the best Dak Prescott that's going to perform at a high level.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, he's doing a great job of that. And I think, but I'm encouraged by it, though. See, I'm encouraged by the progression. This is a much better game than San Francisco.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I think we got a plan.
Yes.
I think we got a plan. Now it's about putting the pressure on the guys to execute the plan to the fullest and to let guys know that it's a certain mentality that you're going to have to win these games. And when, like y'all said, boss, you said, the me against the world, you got to come out and be a gangster to go against the world. Mm-hmm. So that means there is no nice picking people up. There is no nice not finishing block and trying to hurt people and say, well, we're going to try to do it because everybody is against you. So you're going to be everybody's Super Bowl. So you got to go out like a madman. You got to be in more shape than everybody else. You got to be more physical than everybody else because regardless of how good your team is, you're always going to be the hated. You're always the hunted. So if you're always the hunted, you got to go and take that jewelry from people. So yes, Micah Parsons and all this team gonna have to learn that nobody's giving us jack. You got to go over and take it and trying to be political and get all the likes and clicks. He gonna find out they just faking anyway. So hey, you got to go out there and take it, and we just got to have that person. And I don't even want to hear who the person is. I don't want the guy to come on in the press conference and say it. I just want somebody in that locker room to say it. That's it.
Man, these Niner fans killing me. This dude said, holy Christ, you Cowboys never had so many Niner fans rooting for y'all like you did tonight. And they for real, too. This dude named Blue, who's a Niner fan, said, for real, was rooting for y'all.
Damn.
I swear, bro. I swear.
That's real.
So it looked like we're going to be playing on the road, y'all. I'm gonna have this conversation one time. So if the season into today, we got to go on the road with San Fran and Green Bay. How we go play against the refs like we had to do today? I'm gonna start with you, Coach.
And that same mentality I just said, man. When you do have a chance, and I kept saying during the game, y'all kept hearing me say, you got to keep playing. And one thing I do not want this team to do, I want you leave that to the fans to talk about the refs. Because Don't even want to try to start making excuses because there's not only the ref made some calls, there's some plays that you left on the field that you could have done better. But we just got to understand, I like where we're going, but I just think we just need that extra oomph. And I'm going to tell the Cowboy fans this. In 3 weeks, this division can be tied because you got a lot of players from Philly that went down that are not going to be able to go next week. And the next 2 games is possible losses for them. They put a lot in this game. We beat them up physically. And listen, in 2 weeks, if you take care of the business you take care of, the record could be tied again. Easily.
OC, he say with a super chat, a fire one. And Gary, just also shout out to Gary, man. Gary go hard. Just a good football mind. He said we have to somehow incorporate both Tolbert and Cooks into the passing game. I'm pleased with both CD and Ferguson performance tonight. Go ahead, OC.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, man. Because when you begin to incorporate these guys in, like a Cooks on the jet sweeps, they did that a couple weeks ago with him. You can use him even with like some quick outs. You can use him with some speed outs. You can use him really with any route. He's so fantastic. And then the young, good athlete here, because you have the decline, a guy that's physical and that made really some hectified catches after the drop, a Gallup. Totally covered, just strong hands, right? But he's not getting separation, right? And Tolbert is a younger version of that guy that can get separation and that's hungry to be involved. So if you mix these guys in and you don't forget, because I think sometimes, I don't want to say forget, but it seems like that Brandon is forgotten somehow in these games. And he's shaking everybody down. He's getting open all the time. He's a really, really good receiver. If we can somehow manage to scheme him, I would love to see in spread. I would love to see CeeDee Lamb, and I would love to see Brandon right next to each other, because then it's a pick your poison, and one of those guys will come open in a big way. So that's what I think. But agree with it. Great super chat, by the way.
All right, so we will go around and kind of give our final thoughts of the game. Finish it out with the OC, because the post game is always different because of the OC. That's what makes it special, because we get fresh thoughts from the OC. Y'all heard from Coach Marv and myself for the last 3 hours, so y'all kind of already know where we coming from, but the OC always makes it new, the post game. I also want to say shout out to the OC, man. The Wi-Fi was fantastic. His sound was fantastic. So, because we all want to hear from you, bro. So you go finish it off.
Facts.
Yeah, we be waiting on the OC, man, and it's been about a week and a half since we really heard him this clear, man. It's always good to have you. All right, so we gonna start with you, Coach, as you kind of break down your final thoughts.
Because I got to get out. But listen, man, this type of game, I say as I open it up, it hurts, because you feel like you played well enough to win.
Yeah.
And that's why it hurts, because you played well enough to win a game. There was nothing glaring that I talk about, not stopping a drive here and there, but we did kind of limit their big play guys. We did that, but we played well enough to win, and then we came up a game of inches, a toe on the line, a outstanding catch by a rookie with guys hanging on him that when leaders came down, he was inches away from the goal line. So you think about it, even some drops where guys with tough catches, but they dropped, but these guys made catches on other plays. So it's not like they were just totally bad, but in a couple of situations they made some drops, and drops up, receivers gonna drop ball from time to time. But that's what makes it bad. But I'm encouraged in the fact that it's still a long season. This was just the midway point of the season. And I think we are getting better every week. And I think we came out this game with healthy. I will say something about the receiver core. I hear a lot of people say, "Man, we want to get Tolbert and this guy and Gallup and all that." Tolbert, Gallup, they fit in when they fit in. The majority of the ball is going to go into the big play guys of CeeDee Lamb and your tight end who making plays, and then you're going to get Cooks. But when these guys get an opportunity in Gallup and Tolbert and Turpin, just make a play. It may be few and far between, but when you get a chance to make a play, make a play. But you're not going to get first. You're not getting number one. You're not getting 10 targets. You're not getting no 8, 9 targets a game. That ain't if you're throwing the ball and you get 8 more. If you get the same amount of targets as CeeDee Lamb, then there's something wrong. So I'm encouraged. Nobody can talk about CeeDee Lamb being a number one receiver. I think he almost had 200 yards today. Another 11 catches, almost 200 yards today.
Yeah,
the guy is
CeeDee Lamb went
number
crazy.
one. He's a true 88.
Yeah, and
he makes plays and he keeps his team in rhythm. Now I will say this: Coach Marv used to say that how your offense gets started is with the running game. And last year, in a couple of years, I said they set the tempo and get us going. But it's different now. Getting the ball to CeeDee Lamb gets our offense started. That's how we get going. Once you see Lamb get his first couple of catches, we get the rolling. Everybody plays off a Lamb. Lamb gets catches, everything gets in rhythm. So that's the guy you need to get in rhythm, and then everything else comes after that. And the third wide receiver, get in where they fit in at, but get these guys their catches. Ferguson had a good game. Man, I'm encouraged, but we can't have a letdown next week, fellas. Playing the Lonely Giants at home, we need to smash their ass like a damn ant. No letdown.
No letdown. So, I call this game a measure stick game in the final word. And so, as a measuring stick, we got some things we need to work on, but also was encouraged about some things. To me, this was the third game to where, to me, Dak was complete, sliding when he was supposed to, decisive with the football, holding on to the ball maybe a little bit too long, but we already debated that out. I see a lot of people saying CD was money tonight. Dak was more money. You know what I mean? He was the one that had his ball dropped 6 times, but CeeDee Lamb was one of them that actually dropped one of his balls. Yeah. So, I'm encouraged with the good things because I am seeing the Dallas Cowboys getting into mid-season form. We're at the midway point, and around this time, we're seeing what we want to see. We want to see the red zone improve. Did it? We wanted to see Mike McCarthy show more creativity. Did he? We want to see, because I know the OC talked about this. He said he wanted to see him more bold. We saw that today. And then, hold on, we got a super chat. Let me take this super chat real quick. He said, hold on real quick. He said, good content, y'all, but we stopped the run and we got our run game going. Y'all poured that honey, but we the milk. Let's go Eagles. Hey, appreciate the super chat. Y'all won, and it was a good game. I ain't knocking y'all. It was a good win. Tough win by Philly. I can't talk too much shit when y'all won. I just can't.
Yeah. Hold up, ball. Tell him something another super chat where his response about what you just said.
What you mean? You crazy? Yeah, I went you. So I'll say this. I'm more so disappointed in the defense this game. I'm seeing too much of a pattern of our defense being tight in big games, and it's small discipline. It's too much of the same things, especially saying the same things over and over. Containment, offsides. That is an echo we've been saying since training camp and since preseason games. And my line coach.
Nope, saying the same thing.
That's a reflection of Quinn. And Quinn, I don't know what you got to do, but you got to get some fear on that defense. We got the talent, but it's not enough fear. We also go have a conversation at some point this week about corner 3 with Jay Lou. I'm gonna start looking into that because I've been seeing a lot of y'all talk about J. Lou. We definitely got to talk about J. Lou. Is it something we panicking about it, but something we got to really take a look at? But from a measuring stick, hey, the game is behind us. I see where we measure. I feel like with a few measurements, aggressive Mike McCarthy, maybe take a little bit off, a little bit more discipline on the defense. That's a W. That's my final words.
So the one thing I had hoped for is that your team did not come out
Flat.
this game looking San Fran-ish.
Yes.
Not looking Arizona-ish. And they didn't do that.
Nope.
You know, it was across the board. You can say, hey, man, they got weapons all over the place. You know, granted, they lost some talent on defense from last year to this year. But we looking at the offense like, man, they stacking, you know, like, great God. You know, and then they turn around and if Smith and Brown wasn't enough, oh yeah, let's go add Julio into the mix. You know, you see that. So it's like, damn, boy, we just like San Fran, just like LA, you got a lot of people you got to touch and try and kind of keep at bay. So even though we gave up a little more than we wanted to, AJ Brown was pretty much reduced to nothing. That's what I wanted to see, you know.
Yeah.
As a whole, collectively, your cornerbacks, your DB room played like champs.
Yep.
Okay.
They did.
Your interior offensive line. Shout out to Coach Mar for pointing that out. Today,
champs.
Play champs.
Mm-hmm.
Your receivers. You heard it. CD Lamb, Spam Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Big Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dak. Because guess what? Today you targeted CD Lamb 16 times. Ooh. And he returned the dividends. 191 yards.
We gave him, wait.
16 targets. You heard me correctly. 16 targets for 191 yards. Today, he played like a champ. Shout out to Jake Ferguson. Because guess what? He was targeted today too a lot. Ended up with 91 yards. A lot of people during the beginning of the season were doubting him. You know, even in this game, he had a drop ball. But guess what? He played like a champ. And to wrap this whole thing up, I asked you several times throughout the game, put his number in the chat.
4.
Number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've heard Hurts is better than Dak.
No way.
You know, we've heard other quarterbacks, even Cousins. They give you a whole slew of people who are better than Dak. He doesn't do well against good teams. Not only did he protect the ball with a shaky offensive line today at times in pass pro, he balled out. Almost 400 yards, 3 TDs, no picks. He used his legs like we've been wanting him to when it was needed, extending plays, picking up those extra necessary yards, sacrificing his body at the goal line to try and get a touchdown. Today, he too played like a champ. Chat, I appreciate y'all. This was a step forward. We gonna get better. And when we put this thing together, your team, this team, our Dallas Cowboys, has the high potential to be champs. But don't forget, you can't spell champ without amp.
That's a good one, Al. That's a good one. Hey, man, look, so the Cowboys come up short today. The Cowboys are getting closer to beating quality good teams. And so the Cowboys are going to have to figure out a way to come up with a signature win or two before the playoffs. So the great news is we got time. The bad news is that we got to tighten up on the details. It's not the overall game scenario. It's the little details that will hold the Cowboys back. And hopefully defensively, offensively, scheme-wise, we need to just tighten up a few more details to put us in championship positions. But other than that, tough loss. I like what I see. I'm encouraged actually by how we played this game and how close we were to actually pulling this game out. And I'm going to tell you one more time, in Dak I trust. So Dak is going to take us as far as we're going to go. Y'all remember that. Don't forget, guys, also to hit the like button, man, before you get out of this building, man. If you hadn't subscribed to Boss Cowboy Sports already, I don't know what you're waiting for, man. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Turn on your bell notification icons for the latest and greatest in Cowboy content and news. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Follow Coach Mar. Follow AMP Sports. And follow the OC100 on X now. All right, not Twitter, X. All right, so until next time, man, we'll see you guys.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Look, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets done taught me, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets done taught me, I'm just tryna get my nigga paid. We came from Section 8, and I knew I was at since the second grade. Man, I swear my time is coming, cause I'm never late. Came from broken homes and broken dreams to getting paid. Dollar bill, listen close, this is not a drill. Cause hungry trying to get a meal. I've been in light, who gon' pay a bill? I've been in action, been in traction, surplus with niggas lacking, shining light but still be blacking, red lights will stop the action, grand to go, even when it's slow. Higher heights to balance out the lows.